He's been hitting it pretty decent. It's just been right at me.
Yeah, he's gotten quite unlucky, but he also is swinging out of his shoes sometimes. So he's definitely got to cut that down.
Bo was always going to swing out of his shoes.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the 450 Dead Center channel. Chris here with Daniel, and we're talking about the Blue Jays season so far.
Thank goodness baseball's back. That's all I'm saying. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's been too long, and I have been thoroughly enjoying myself watching baseball. I don't know about you, Chris.
I have as well, actually, especially since there's a game basically every day except Monday, which was yesterday, or no, 2 days ago our time. We're recording this on Wednesday, the 20th of April, so yeah, it's looking pretty good. Jays season off to a meh start, to say the least, but I think with the circumstances that have happened right now with our team and injuries, it's not terrible.
I mean, we'll get into that, Chris, but for everyone new, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe.
Yep.
And stick around to the end of the video, because at the end of the video, me and Chris are going to say which player we've liked the best so far.
Yes, we have. Who is the Jays MVP so far? Who knows? Alejandro Kirk? Yes. Who knows? Anywho, so what do you want to start off with first? The record, the injuries?
Let's start off, I think, with the overall record. I think we should start off with the overall expectations people had and if they're living up to them or not.
Okay, so the expectation was basically a top 2 team in the MLB going to make the World Series, and considering last week's power rankings, MLB.com, who are very reliable, by the way, have us in second place, even though I don't think we are top 5 right now. But you know what? They have us in second, so that's pretty good.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it by the MLB.com bias there. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the expectations people had for the Jays for the start of the season was a little unrealistic. I think people thought we were going to come out blazing and be like, I don't know, 10-1 right now. You know what I mean?
I mean, it could have been if we didn't have those specific injuries to our batting lineup.
You know what?
Still,
like diehard fans, we understand that 10-1 is not going to happen.
Yes,
however, the casual baseball fan, 10-1 was the goal. Like, that's what they thought was going to happen. I mean, look at opening day when Brios really struggled and everyone called it quits right away.
Yeah, they were like, this team sucks. And then what happened? We won that game. Yeah. So, yeah. I did notice, though, going to our record, that every single loss that we had, except this Red Sox one where it hasn't come out yet, the officiating / umpires have been completely atrocious. And there was a stat that Jays, I think, have had the 3rd worst umpiring in the entire league so far. And this was, I believe, right before or after Sunday's game. And that's when we had 4 losses on the year, and then now 5 with the Red Sox one. So I just want to point that out there, that some of the losses could have flipped it another way or could have been close, because they've all been close games. So just say 1 run goes our way, 1 run goes the other way. The games are completely different.
No, I agree totally. I mean, that one, was it Oakland or Texas?
The one with Jeff Nelson as the umpire, with the worst game in recent history.
What was it, Oakland?
Yeah, it was Oakland, yeah.
Oh my god, that guy was. I mean, if you look up, everyone can look up on the internet. I'm sure everyone's seen it. The scorecard report, the
umpire scorecards on Twitter.
Umpire scorecards. Oh my god! I mean, 85% is terrible for an MLB umpire.
Well, the thing is, 88% is the average called strike accuracy. He was at 68. He was 20% lower than the average.
But the average, that's what's called strike. But the average for consistency is 95 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was at 85.
Yeah, there was an ump yesterday or the day before in the Colorado Rockies game who missed 1 call all game, and it was the very first pitch of the game, and it was a borderline ball. Everything else, 99%. So it's possible.
What? Bravo to the. I just hit my mic.
Bravo
to the really good ump. Bravo. You make the game of baseball fun, but a game like that with Jeff Nelson,
it's pathetic.
It's just not fun. I get it. If you're gonna call a borderline pitch every, and it's a ball, and you're gonna call it a strike, and you're gonna call it a strike every time, that's different. But if you're calling it one time a strike, one time a ball,
only when the Jays are batting a strike, only when we're pitching it's a ball. Yeah,
exactly. I get really it. Pathetic. Come on, you know what? Everyone's entitled to an off day, but buddy.
Bad. It
that
was
was
bad. It
worse
was
than an
bad.
off day.
Yeah, it was worse than off day. But besides the umpires, we are 6-5 now. We lost to the Red
Yes.
Sox 2-1 last night, which sucks because there was plenty of opportunities to score last night, and we just didn't capitalize on it. So, any opinions on that?
I mean, this is what I wanted to talk next, and it's kind of gonna go through all the games this year.
Hmm.
I've really liked, aside from Barrios's blunder that first game,
Yeah.
and uh, Ryu's couple struggles he's had,
Hmm.
but I've really liked the pitching staff so far. I
I
thought the
have
pitching
as
staff
well.
I've done a pretty good job. Jordan Romano looks legit at the back end of the pen.
Hmm.
Manoa looks like he's going to be the ace by All-Star break.
Seriously.
Like Gosman looks disgusting too.
His splitter, though.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
his splitter is disgusting,
Yeah.
and you say yesterday pitched really well.
He did pitch really well. Like we saw him pitch one game against the Yankees where he's using mainly off speed, and that didn't work. He
Yes.
went into Boston yesterday, pitched I believe majority fastball with it, and they couldn't hit it. So
He went what, 6 innings? I think 5 innings, six
five, I
innings,
believe five, because he was a pitch limit of 90. So
5 with one
yeah,
run, which is like
I believe
really
he gave
good
up
for
what, two
your
hits.
so yeah, exactly, really good for your so-called number 5 guy.
Yeah,
And then the pen, I thought they looked good. I mean, if we're just using that Boston game from yesterday, the Tuesday game, what's his face? David
Phelps
Phelps looks
pitched. Yeah.
disgusting again,
Hmm.
which I'm so happy he's healthy. Jimmy Garcia, even though he gave up the run, looked really good.
Yeah, but that run really wasn't his fault because of
It
the
was an
air from
error,
yeah
like
air ground
whatever,
out
but
sac fly basically. Yeah.
whatever. It's a run, like it's gonna happen. But he did a really good job, I thought. And if you
Hmm.
take out the other guys, in the pen, Tim Mays has looked pretty good so far.
Hmm.
Julian Merriweather, I'm really impressed with.
So far,
Uh,
I think he's been the worst one, and that's, I mean, he's still
I
been
was
doing pretty
yeah,
good.
Julian Merriweather, I think he's been the worst, but he's still been pretty good. Adam
Exactly.
Simber looks really good again, which I love.
I like Adam
Same
Simber.
with Trevor Richards. Like I'm really liking this bullpen
Hmm.
and this pitching staff in total. And I think Ryu's gonna figure it out, and I think Brios was just a hiccup.
Yeah, and don't even forget about Jordan Romano, guys leading the league in saves
Yeah,
right now.
I'm telling you, my bold prediction at the start of the year was Jordan Romano's going to be an all-star closer by the end of the year. I'm telling you,
I
it's
mean,
happening.
he's
That
already
guy is
on pace
legit.
for it, so why
Also,
not?
can we talk about the appreciation, or I worded that wrong. Can we give some appreciation to the like video and visual effects that the Jays have done at the Rogers Center? Oh my god!
Oh, it looks so good. If you just like
Like
look it up on Twitter or Google, just the Romano intro with, I don't even know what
yes,
song they play. What do they play? Do you
I
know?
think it's Seven Nations Army.
Yeah, they play something, and it comes in. The video board has a big like maple leaf outline on it.
Like
Chef's
that
kiss.
is amazing. That is,
Yeah,
I am so excited to go to the Rogers Center. Like
basically.
that is so amazing.
If you're like an opposing batting lineup, just say you're down like one run, and you're like, you know what, let's get a rally going here in the ninth
Yeah,
inning, and then that comes up, and you're like, ah, crap, like you're not winning.
that ruins all momentum, and especially if he's been on like he's been on,
Hmm.
it's game over. I will bet my money that he closes that game out.
Has he even given up a hit this year? Maybe one.
He's on record. He's got the most going back to last year. He's got the most consecutive saves in franchise history or something right now.
Yeah, he's keep extending the list. So he's been fantastic, absolutely lights out. When he comes into a game, you know you're golden. And it's
Yeah,
weird. He has 6 saves this year. The Jays have 6 wins this year. So if we're winning 100 games this year, does that mean Romano is going to get 100 saves?
I think so. I mean,
Why not?
I would say so. That guy is dynamite out of the pen. I love him. I love him for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to move on here though to your thoughts on Charlie Montoya so far.
I'm be honest, he's been actually good. I mean, maybe this has to do with the fact that he has a bullpen to work with. I don't know,
Okay.
but he's been solid. I loved how he got tossed in that Oakland game. I loved the
Yes.
quote that he said yesterday about unvaccinated players coming to Toronto. He's like, "Well, suck it up," basically. I like that. And except yesterday when he didn't keep the bunt on Tapia, I think that was the only thing he's done wrong this season. But other than that, I think he's been good.
I agree with you. I think that Tapia thing yesterday, he definitely should have kept the bunt on, especially with Tapia struggling.
Oof. I don't even, why
Um,
is he hitting sixth or seventh? Like, what the heck?
I think it's just to split up the lefties and righties.
Put
That's
Kevin
my
in.
guess.
Kevin's better. At least he'll take a walk.
But yeah, honestly. But yeah, the Montoya's I he's been average so far. I thought I don't think he's been making too many like, I mean, it's still early, but I don't think
Hmm.
there's been too many decisions that are like, game changing.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
mean, give it
he's
maybe a
done good,
month or
I
two.
thought.
Yeah, I think he's been, I mean, definitely better than last year so far. But then also last year, we actually had a good bullpen in April as well.
Yes.
So maybe we got to wait till like May or June. So we'll
It
see.
is still really early to tell. I'm sure we'll make another update video on this, but
Hmm.
so far Montoya's been pretty good. I really liked specifically how he handled the pitching in the opening day game.
Oh, it was perfect. Like, it was great. He put the
Obviously,
pitchers in
Brios,
that could give us a chance to win the game.
exactly. Obviously, Brios did he? I think it was just nerves. I know we talked about it. I'm chalking it up just the nerves
Oh,
to
yeah.
Brios.
He was lights out in his second start and he's pitching
Yeah.
today. So I think he'll be fine.
So I think he's fine. I think it was just nerves opening day, and you know what? He threw Trent Thornton, and at that point, everyone was like, "Oh, there goes the game." But
That was
then
me.
everyone was like that. It's not just you. Everyone was
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
But then he put in some actual quality pitchers. The Jays' bats started coming alive, which we haven't even talked about yet. How amazing these bats have been so far. And yeah, what you know, come back from a 7-0 win.
Yeah, basically. And also, after that first game, Trent Thornton's been lights out as well. So
Yeah, what is
maybe.
Trent Thornton all of a sudden doing really good?
Yeah, I don't know. I would get it. It's weird. But let's move on to the batting lineup because we haven't spoke about it, and that's supposed
Yes.
to be the strong point of this team. And it was looking good until Teoscar and Danny Jansen both had oblique injuries for some reason.
Yes, I don't know what it is, but the injury bug hit the Jays already. It hit them last year really hard.
Yep.
It hit them again apparently this year. I don't know what it is, but so far I'd say that first series against Texas it was really good, and
It
then
was our
everything else
definitely our
it's been
best
average.
offensive season. But
Yeah,
also Texas has no pitching.
it's been average. I think to be honest. I mean, there's
Yeah,
been
like
guys
we're
who've
around
shown up
13th
really
in like
exactly. There's been
offense.
guys who've shown up, and there's guys who've struggled.
Yeah, like what I've noticed is that we haven't really had a player that goes on like a substantial, like maybe 3, 4, 5 game like
Yes.
hot streak. It's usually like, oh, Vlad hit 3 home runs, but then he struck out 4 times the next game, or oh, Bo got 2 hits, but then he struck out 3 times the next game.
Yeah,
So
it's the same with Springer and the same with Lourdes and
yeah,
our hottest hitter right now is Zach Collins. At the
Zach
time
Collins.
like, who would have thought that Zach Collins would be the hottest hitter right now?
I like Zach Collins. I don't know why. Like when he first came to the Jays and literally couldn't hit, like water fell out of a boat on the Yankee series, I'm like, I hate this guy, stinks. But then once he came back to Toronto, now he's just like he's going. I
All of a
love it.
sudden, throw him to Oakland, and he's hitting like bombs.
He's hitting bombs, going like 3 for 4. Like, what's Zach Collins doing, man?
I mean, he's gonna play. I mean, if he keeps playing like that, like it's gonna be hard to keep Kirk on the roster.
Yeah, well, Kirk will definitely stay on the roster. It's just will he DH as often as he was? Because Kirk's struggling. I think he just needs to get his timing down, but not looking.
It's early. It is early with the guy, so I'm not too concerned.
Mhm.
Like you said, I'm more concerned about the consistency with them, and in terms of like they're going really hot one day and then extremely bad the next day.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but also it is once again 11 games into the season, and we did see this last year. They did go up to a slow start, and then what happened in May, June, July, August, September,
Yeah,
even October, they were the best hitting team in the league. So, I mean, every team goes through this. I guess the Jays' entire lineup is just slow starters. Like we know Gurriel's like the slowest starter. The guy gets hot in like August. So,
I mean, like thinking back just to other Jays fans don't remember, Edwin Encarnacion was like the perfect example of this, where
he
he
was
would
so
be
bad in April.
April, he was so bad, but all of a sudden May 1st comes and this guy's hitting like 400,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Hmm.
you know what? Like, it is early. I was just saying, I'm more concerned that there's one game where they're like 3 for 3, and the next game they're like 0 for 4 with 4 Ks, and it's not
Yeah.
even like 4 groundouts; it's 4 Ks, which is like my big worry.
Yeah, so do you want to go through the batting lineup so far and just talk a little
Yeah,
bit how
we
everybody's
can run
doing?
through it really
Or
quick.
let's start off with the bench. So I guess Biggio's now a bench guy, I guess we would say. I mean, I'd
Yeah,
rather have him than Tapia, but how's Biggio doing so far? Like I know he's got no hits, but he's still got like a 350 on base percentage.
I think I don't know, man. I love Vigio,
Me
but
too.
like Santi's basically playing him out of Toronto right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I get that. And like I think he should start more than Tapia starts just because
I
Tapia is
agree. I
basically a
agree.
walking
I do
ground
not
out.
like Tapia at all.
Yeah, and I mean I know he's good at base running, but so is Biggio, and he's probably better at I don't know. He just looks like he's not like this Tapia right now. He doesn't look like he's into it. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. He looks very nonchalant out there.
Hmm.
Um, But I don't know. I think he's just mentally, not mentally struggling. I think he's just struggling like at the plate, and I think it's
Yeah.
carrying over to the field. I think that's the best way because you know what, he can play center field. We've seen him play center field. He does a pretty good job.
He's not like
Um,
Zimmer,
he's not.
but
He's not Zimmer, who's honestly, I was gonna say, I like. He is another guy who's just can't hit for whatever,
he stinks. Oh
but
my
is
god.
nasty defensively.
And he's so fast. So literally you just
Yeah,
keep him in as a pinch runner. I don't care what else. Like in the ninth inning you put him in. I mean like they've been doing. They put him in center field, put Springer to right.
exactly. And then the last guy on the bench that I can't remember off the top of my head is Collins, and we've already
Oh, and
talked about
Heineman.
Collins.
Heineman.
Oh, Heinerman, yes.
Played one game, made an error, we lost the game. Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Collins has been really good. I'm thoroughly impressed with Collins. I'm very happy with it. Moving on to like the
Hmm.
catches here. I mean, Kirk is he's struggling at the plate, but defensively, I liked what I've seen from Kirk.
Yeah, he's been solid actually. I mean, he's stepped up where we needed, Danny Jansen to be
Yep.
basically. Now that he's hurt. All right, let's go top of the lineup. We got George Springer.
Oh, my opinion.
Yes.
He's George. I mean, he's doing George things.
Hmm.
He is obviously, like we've said, like most of the guys, he's struggling just a little bit, but he's more like Vlad right now. There's games where he's extremely hot, and then there's games where he's just extremely cold.
Yeah, like he's not doing terrible. He's hitting 267. He's got two dingers, five
Yeah.
RBIs. He's been solid basically. He's been solid.
But I've been happy. The biggest thing with Springer is that he's been on the field.
Exactly. He's playing what every game and then
Like
the
knock
occasional
on wood,
DH.
please. Like,
Knock on
do
wood.
not
Yep.
get injured. Like he is. I'm very happy with what he's been doing, and I'm very happy that they've DHing him every so often,
Hmm.
giving him a day off, because that guy is a game changer.
For sure, especially in the leadoff spot. And then there is Bo Bichette, who has gone off to quite a slow start, to say the least. He's hitting 204. He's got one home run and one RBI.
You know
So,
what? The first series against Texas and even New York, I thought Bo's at bats were terrible.
hmm
But ever since that Oakland series and the recent game yesterday in Boston, I've liked his approach a lot more.
hmm
I think he's trying to do less. Less is more up there, and he's been hitting it pretty decent. It's just been right at people, I think.
Yeah, he's gotten quite unlucky, but he also is swinging out of his shoes
Yes,
sometimes. So he's
yes,
definitely
but
got to
that
cut
is
that down.
Bo. Bo is always going to
Exactly.
swing out of his shoes until he has two strikes.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what's gonna happen. Then there's Vlad. He's pretty good.
He's Vlad. He's on pace to be an MVP again. So
Yeah, he's hitting 317, five home runs, 10
yeah,
RBIs. It's only 10 games.
Vlad is on pace to try to be MVP this year.
Yeah,
So
basically at this rate, he's on pace for 162 RBIs. So, yay.
gotta love Vlad.
Let's go with Teoscar right now. I mean, he played how many games? A couple. He was hitting 316, so he was very good. He had one home run, three RBIs. I believe he played what, 4 games, so not
I
bad.
thought I thought Teoscar was the best out of everyone before he got hurt. I really do.
He was, and he
Uh,
also added so much depth to that batting lineup.
exactly. And I think the just personality, you could see that in the bench, that guy was like him and Vlad are personality guys, I would say,
Hmm.
and Lourdes.
Yeah,
But those three guys on the bench, you could see when the team is doing well, those three guys are having fun and they're making everyone laugh and smile, right? So
exactly.
I think Teoscar being out just a little bit kind of stings for that, but I mean, I'm expecting him as soon as he comes back to go full guns blazing.
Exactly. Next up, Gurriel Jr. hitting 275. No home runs so far. He's got five RBIs, and I believe he could have had a higher batting average, but he got really unlucky yesterday in Boston. He was hitting just right at the guys.
I feel like don't quote me on this, but I don't know if you have the stats up, but
Hmm.
I feel like Gurriel has the least amount of strikeouts.
Yeah, he's had a very good plate approach this season, which
Like
is which is
I
really
feel like he's
nice.
been putting the ball in play a lot, which is good. That's what you need to do. I mean, put the ball in play, stuff happens.
Yeah, and this is Gurriel not being very hot right now, because when he's hot, he
Exactly.
just hits it everywhere. So good for him.
He's been doing his job. Most of the time, it's sack flies, which I love to see.
I like it exactly. That's why his RBI number's so up. Speaking of RBI numbers, next up is Matt Chapman hitting at 229. He's got two dingers, seven RBIs.
7 RBIs, damn.
Yeah,
Did
apparently he's
not.
very clutch.
I was about to say like 230 whatever for Chapman. I love his defense. That guy's defense has been insane
Oh, it's
lately.
so
I
good.
mean, it's like watching Donaldson 2.0.
Except
Like
God tier defense.
God tier. Like oh my god, that guy's defense. The Jays fans, you are getting a treat to watch this guy. And whatever 230, I don't really care about his defense is where I want to see it.
Yeah, plus he is starting to get a little bit hotter at the plate. He's going like 1 for 4 every day, so that'll
Yep.
bring his average up. All right, next up, Alejandro Kirk hitting 233 with 1 RBI.
I mean, we've brushed over Kirk. It's Kirky. He's doing great.
Of course,
Like,
just yeah,
it's
I
Kirky.
don't care. I love Kirk.
But the way Zach Collins is playing, he might take that starting job from
Oh
Kirk.
yeah, the goat Zach Collins. He's so good. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Yeah, someone who's fallen off a little bit is Santiago Espinal. He's hitting 229 now with 4 RBIs.
Yeah, I don't know. Santi came out really hot, and then I don't know what caught up to him.
The
But
pitching.
maybe it's pitching. Maybe it's they started figuring out how to pitch to him. But he was hitting really well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's kind of struggling. I think he's in the same boat as Bo right now.
Yeah. I could see that for
Like I
sure.
see them very similar in the way they're struggling at the plate. Like they just don't look like themselves.
No, they don't. I mean, Espinal, I never expected him to be the starter anyway. I still think that should probably go to Cavan. Just give him more time. I think now that Espinal's struggling, they might
Yeah,
rotate
I
him
think
again,
so too.
but we'll see what happens. And then last, I just want to bring him up. Danny Jansen was hitting 571. He had 2 home runs and 2 RBIs in like 2 games. So
Danny Dingers, baby! Holy cow!
yeah, Danny Jansen, man.
By the way, congrats to Danny Jansen and his wife or girlfriend. I don't know if they're
Yeah, they're
married
having
or
a
not.
kid in
They're
October.
having a kid, so congrats to them. That's awesome. Um, yeah, get back, get healthy, so then you can win a World Series for your kid
And hit more dingers.
and hit more dingers.
Yes. All right. I think that covers it so far. What do you
All right,
think?
last thing before we wrap it up, Chris, who's your like MVP so far for the Jays?
Jordan Romano.
I'm going Zach Collins.
Oh, nice. I like it. I like it. Because he's the
If you
GOAT.
guys are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like as well, and we'll see you guys all next time for more Blue Jays content.
Goodbye.